Hello everyone, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, and today we're diving deep into a very common question that many English learners have when trying to sound more fluent and confident in conversation. A viewer reached out and asked for help understanding the difference between using going to and will in English. It's a great question because these two phrases are often used to talk about future events, yet they carry slightly different meanings and are chosen based on the context, intention, and even emotion behind what you're trying to express. So let's explore this together. Now, you might have noticed that both going to and will can appear in similar kinds of sentences, and technically both might be grammatically correct, but the choice between them depends on the nuance you're trying to convey. Think of it like this. You can say something correctly, but if your meaning doesn't align with the structure, the message can be misunderstood. That's why I've lined up some real-life examples and situations to help make this distinction easier to grasp. So let's start with will. This form is often used when expressing dreams, desires, or things we hope to achieve one day. It feels a bit like looking into the distance and imagining what your life might become. For example, if someone says, "I will travel the world," it sounds like a heartfelt dream, a personal goal that may happen someday. And in everyday speech, we often shorten it by saying, "I'll travel the world." So instead of saying, "I will be a doctor," we usually say, "I'll be a doctor someday." It makes the tone sound more natural. These kinds of future statements usually relate to aspirations and hopes that are not happening immediately. Along with dreams, we also use will to express promises. For example, if you tell someone, "I'll help you move tomorrow," or "I'll send you the details later," you're giving your word. The word will here shows that you're committing to something. Even if you don't actually say the word promise, the intention is clear through the tone and choice of words. It also appears when we talk about decisions made in the moment. Like if someone offers you a piece of chocolate and you respond, "I'll try one," it means you've just decided to accept that offer. Similarly, if you see someone struggling and say, "I'll help you with those bags," it shows an immediate decision to offer assistance. In these cases, will reflects both spontaneity and commitment. Another usage of will is when stating facts about the future. For example, the president will serve a 4-year term. That's not based on hope or intention. It's simply a known fact. Similarly, if you're a student and say, "I'll graduate next year," you're likely referring to a scheduled event that is expected to happen unless something unusual interrupts the plan. And sometimes we use will when making polite requests or asking for support. For example, "Will you leave a comment," or "Will you subscribe to my channel?" It's a soft and respectful way to ask someone to take action, and it's commonly used in digital conversations. Now let's shift the focus to going to. This expression is used when talking about actions that are planned or expected to happen soon. There's a stronger sense of certainty here compared to will. For instance, if I say, "I'm going to post this video online," it's part of my schedule. It's not a dream or a distant plan. It's already in motion. You might notice how the mood changes. When I say, "I will post the video," it feels like a promise or commitment. But when I say, "I'm going to post it," it simply sounds like a planned action I've already decided on. That subtle shift makes a big difference in natural conversation. Using going to also suggests that something is happening relatively soon. It might be today, tomorrow, this weekend, or in the coming days. For example, if you look out the window and notice the sky is dark and heavy with clouds, you might say, "It's going to rain." That's a prediction based on visual evidence. And while it wouldn't be wrong to say, "It will rain," it doesn't feel as natural in this context. Saying, "It's going to rain," sounds more immediate and based on observation. The same is true when talking about your own plans. If you say, "I'm going to cook dinner tonight," it shows that the plan is already made. You're just informing someone about it. And unlike distant dreams, this is happening soon. Also, going to often carries a tone of anticipation. For example, if I ask, "Are you going to comment on this video?" it shows I'm expecting that you might. It's different from "will you comment," which is more of a request. The difference lies in expectation versus asking. Using going to creates a mood where we're waiting for something to happen based on likelihood or hope. It also shows determination. For example, if someone says, "I'm going to be president someday," it sounds like they've made a strong decision. It's not just a dream. It's a firm plan in their mind. That intensity comes across through the choice of going to rather than will. So now you can begin to feel how these two phrases, though similar, carry distinct emotional tones and intentions. Choosing between them is less about following rigid grammar rules and more about understanding the feeling behind what you want to say. Whether it's a promise, a scheduled plan, a hopeful dream, or a near-certain prediction, your word choice shapes how people understand you. Learning these nuances can make your English sound more natural, more confident, and more aligned with how native speakers express themselves. So next time you're thinking about your future, whether you say, "I'll do it" or "I'm going to do it," just take a moment to think about how certain you are, whether it's a promise or a plan, and how soon it might happen. That simple reflection can make your communication much clearer and much more effective. If you enjoyed this lesson and want to continue learning with me, I'd love to invite you to my channel where you can find even more lessons just like this. I also have a full course that covers some of the most challenging and confusing parts of English for learners, including detailed lessons, practical quizzes, summaries, and helpful worksheets that cover exactly these kinds of confusing situations. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, take a look and join me on your journey to mastering English. Thanks so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in another lesson soon. Take care and keep learning with confidence.